Hey, Ali here, and welcome back to another video of discovering Oddworld Soulstorm out of bounds. Last time I reached Reunion at the old trellis, so this is here where I'm going to start for today. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to check out was how much further the railway would reach, just like I did with the Fat Station as well. Before I did that, I wanted to take a better look at the train itself, and I could see that it seems to have a lot of duplication with the meshes, as you can see by yourself. Unlike at the fast station where the train looked a whole lot different. After checking the train, I went on and followed the railway. And I didn't get that far until the railway ended right here. But this was here where I discovered something interesting. When I panned the camera over at the railway, you can hear the sound of when a train passes by through the wind. But when you take the camera out, you don't really hear it. Somehow if you pan the camera inside the railway, the sound is shown up, and I believe this is something the player themselves would never be able to hear in this level. Really, why should they be able to hear it? Because there is no other train passing by, aside from the train itself that you're coming from. That you see is just driving at just a little from at the beginning. Before checking the other side of the railway, I want to check the background at the beginning of the level, because I realized by myself when I was playing this that I noticed a lake at the bottom. So I want to take a better look at the lake, and so yeah, there's actual water down here that you're not really good at being able to see it by yourself. So I want to take a better look at it and see how far it goes, and that's how far it went. And I also noticed that the lake was a lot bigger than I expected. Although as a game developer myself, I'm not really surprised to see that it was done in that way. After that, I wanted to see the other side of the lake, and when I reached the middle of it, I also heard the sound effect of water, which I'm not sure if it's something the player himself would be able to hear. No, I don't really think it is possible to hear this in game, if I'm not mistaken. After that, I checked the other side of the lake, and it was quite short. After investigating the lake, I checked the other side of the railway, and it was a lot more short than the other side, as it ended on this cliff here. Yeah, that's it. Then I wanted to take a better look at these Mudokons that you can see right here. And it's not real surprising, since I showed this to you last time when I showed the ruins level out of bound, and it looks the exact same. But at least here's how it looks like from the other side. Although I do want to see how the path of the Mudokons that they are running through looks like. And it kind of looks like as if they're going to go through that little wooden bridge, but apparently not, because it seems like they don't even care about that bridge at all, because it reaches nowhere. And instead, they are just gonna reach the stairs that it goes upwards. After that, I went on and checked on the lake again. This was here where I discovered something crazy. First off, I found a piece of a Fiku train just laying inside the water. And what's even crazier is that I also found an Elam statue just laying down inside the water. And I was like, whoa, wait, what is that Elam statue doing here? Because I don't think this is something the player themselves would never be able to see. Like, because the camera would never rotate to the other side. But I was also thinking, we never got to see Elam at all in Oddworld Soulstorm. So this was quite a big surprise to see me that he is actually there. Or, okay, it's not actually him, but rather a statue. Or at least like a life-size statue of Elam. But that was so weird. Then I also found to be, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like that rail line that you see in Necrom as well, also laying down inside the water as well. So that was quite interesting to see, like, just like bunch of junk that is laying down inside that lake. But I was just wondering, why is it on the other side of the lake that the player themselves would never be able to see from their perspective? But obviously I just couldn't stop going back to that Elam statue and looking at it and thinking, what in the world is it doing here? And obviously, to no surprise for me, the cave that Abe is going is actually laying underneath the level inside a big black box. Although not entirely covered in a big black box, but rather like foreside of it. And here's how the whole underground cave looks like from this perspective. I also went on and wanted to take a better look inside the cave, and this was here where I noticed that the slugs seemed to have a bit of a black dirt on them, which was a bit weird. Like, huh, is this how all the slugs are in the Soulstorm? Huh, that was weird. But that's where I also noticed that there's a piece of meat from Rapture Farms. And I was thinking, wait, are you actually able to view this by yourself? Like, wait, maybe you can, but I'm not really sure. After that, I discovered something really funny. If you skip straight ahead to the part where the Mudokons have to go upstairs without opening up the cage for the Mudokons underneath, they still go upwards. Like, yeah, as you can see, those Mudokons are still there, but for some reason, the 250 Mudokons are just climbing up there, like, as if, like, I didn't even know what to say. Like, that was just too weird. It just goes to show that it doesn't really matter that you free those Mudokons underneath. But obviously, it's something the player themselves would never be able to do without cheats. After finding that out, I think I wanted to see how it would look like when you free the Mudokon from that cage. And to no surprise, it is the exact same as previously. And you can see them that they just go upstairs and ignore that wooden bridge. Which makes me wonder, why is that wooden bridge even there at all? When you save the Mudokons all the way to the top, I wanted to see how it would look like when they reached the train. Unfortunately, I wasn't quick enough to get a better look at it, but I was apparently fast enough to see that they would just like move upwards, and that's it. I believe they go inside the train and then they disappear. But as I did this, I also found out that there is one open room that is apparently made for the Mudokons, but for some reason you don't see the Mudokons inside there. Next up is Slick Barracks. This is here where there's quite a few interesting stuff to see out of bounds. The first thing that really caught my attention was that Mudokon shaped fence that I think most of you recognize from Ape's Exodus. And I was thinking, wait, can you actually see this from a player's perspective? And apparently, yeah. But it wasn't until when I took a better look at it with the free camera, and now you can just get a better view of it. Well, that was actually pretty cool. Aside from that, I also took a better look at the background, and it seemed like these tents, or whatever they are basically just flat, plain textures. But I guess that makes sense since you only see those in one direction. And same goes with those silos, as they were only modeled at one side, but not on the other side. Just like in the hijack level, I also found another square pink plane. And when I took a close look at it, it seems to make a white flickering light on it, which I really don't know why it does this. It's only when I get closer to it, at least when some angle is stopped. But when I look at it on the other side, the pink texture is not there, and I can only see it as a light circle. I don't really know what the purpose of it is here. I'm not really sure if it's because of the train itself. I don't know. And I guess this shouldn't come as a surprise that when you enter this part right here, that it takes place underneath the level. Okay, if you have followed this series, I think you already know the drill. After getting out again, I again took a better look at the background to see how it all looked like. And again, there's also these tents with the flat plane texture, but I also noticed that they seem to have a lower quality compared to the one you saw at the beginning. Here's also these signs that you see at this part here where you have to explode these explosive crates. Although this is something that you can see by yourself, but it's kind of hard from the 2D angle. But here's where I noticed something interesting. The bottom part of Slick Barracks that you go down, and even the boiler, are not even rendered at all. Not until Abe himself enters the door, and then the bottom part is getting spawned. And the upper part disappears. At least most of it, although some platforms seems to have stayed. And you can also see that the lighting is a lot different, as we can see that the bloom has become a lot stronger here. But here's how the upper part of Slick Barracks looks like when you enter the middle button of Slick Barracks. When I reached the bottom of the boiler, and then I took the camera upward, I managed to keep the red lighting all the way up to the top. And this is how the Slick Barracks at the top looks like with the red lighting from the boiler. Looking at this reminds me of these custom Oddworld levels that I always played a lot. At least that's what it reminded me of. Back to the boiler level. I wanted to see where exactly this hole leads, and apparently it's a lot longer than I expected. Although not that long, because I quickly reached the end. And that was it. But it seems like this hole here is covered in some sort of a dynamic fire texture, which you can't really see very clearly, as it kind of looks like it makes it the end. And same goes with this hole as well, as it is the exact same. After that, I wanted to take a look at that secret area in this boiler lover. Especially, I want to take a better look at the slick patrolling in the background. And it seems like these slicks are just walking in thin air, especially in the middle. As you can see, there is no platform, but it seems like this is no problem for the slicks at all, as they're just walking on it like like there is platform. And same goes with this slicks right here, as he's just standing on thin air, and when he just patrolling, yeah, he's just walking thin air. It looks really funny, but I guess that makes sense since you can't really see it from the player perspective because of that big silo in the middle. But yeah, that was all for today. I know this video may have been a bit shorter from most of the time, because next time I'm going to discover Necrom out of bound. And since Necrom is split into 4 big levels, I think it's best that I want to cover Necrom in the next video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.